Welcome to Planting Joy Garden. Today we are going to be doing some garden chores. We are going to be thinning some of the seedlings and planting out some more vegetable seeds. No, I think I'll plant flowers today. Okay, let's get started on thinning out these turnip greens. Now, turnips are a bulbing plant and they should be thin when the plant is roughly 3 to 4 inches tall, and they need to be at least 2 to 4 inches apart so that you can get a good bulb. Now, these are the purple top turnips, and this is what it looks like. You can actually eat these as microgreens, they'll be nice and savory. So, the whole point of thinning is to get nice bulbs on your turnips because you're eating it for the bulb. Now, if you're eating turnips for the actual greens, then you can allow them to grow closely. But I'm definitely going after the bulbs. And I attempted to sow this carefully so as to provide enough space, but I just didn't realize how heavy-handed I was when I sowed these. So I am going to put this on high speed so we can see what it looks like. And I don't have to torture you with watching me thin seedlings. I know this is one of those garden things that no one's too crazy about, but it's absolutely necessary. So let's go to high speed. Okay, so here is what I thinned out, and these can be washed up and used as microgreens. And I want to show you quickly how my bed looks now. So you can see things are spaced a lot better now. I went for 2 inches roughly apart, some are a little bit more. The goal is to thin them out before the bulb forms. That way you can have a fully formed bulb. And I may have missed some spots, but that's quite okay. But what I want to show you is when you have proper spacing, you get good bulb formation. So if we take a look here at the radishes, these have been spaced, thinned out previously, and you can see that the bulbs are forming underneath. Because this was a bigger seed, it was easier to space them apart. Same thing with carrots. To get fully formed carrots, you need to space them. I also want to show you a different variety of radishes. So these are over here were spaced. I attempted to space them properly when I sowed the seeds, but occasionally you can be heavy-handed. But you can see that the bulbs are forming really, really well simply because they've been spaced. And you want to do it early on in the seedling's life. And in the case of turnips, you do it when they're around 3 to 4 inches tall. Any later than that, then you have bulb formation. So next on the list, we are going to sow some flower seeds. And for those who are wondering, my mustards are half germinated. I'm going to let them grow a little bit taller, and then I will be placing them on the other half of this bed. There are more turnips than I planned on, but we're going to make it work. Kind of a chaos gardener when it comes to flowers. I just throw all kind of seeds and whatever it takes. So I start off by clearing the container, and I do believe this is a flower. I know I've put marigolds over here before, and I've placed lissams, and lissams can be self-seeding. So I do believe I'm seeing lissams here. So let's get started. So on my list today will be some zinnias and more sweet alyssums. So the zinnia seeds are actually a nice size seeds. It should be sown about 1/4 inch. So just gonna make a little divot about half the depth of my fingernail. Not gonna put a lot, just a few, because zinnias grow to be large plants. So just a few here and there. I don't know what else is going to come up in here, but I know it's going to be flowers. I do have one random garlic, and that's because the squirrels move garlic wherever they want it. And so you never know where garlic is going to show up in my garden. Okay, so we've got some zinnias in, and I'm just going to cover those over. I can always thin it later, but this way I know that I have enough seeds that something's going to germinate. And these germinate in about, I believe, 5 to 10 days. And this is a full sun spot here. So those are covered. Okay. And for the lissums, I am going to chaos sow these. They're really, really tiny. And I mean super tiny. So let's see if you can even see that. They're so tiny. They're like the size of mustard seeds. Extremely tiny. And what I'm going to do is I am going to sprinkle them like salt. And then I'm just going to ruffle it up a little bit. So they're basically surface sown. All right, so we got some flowers in. All right, and the alyssum, especially in cooler temperatures, you do sow them after your last frost, but they germinate in about 7 to 12 days. Thank you for joining me in the garden. Next time, weather permitting, I will be planting out some high density potatoes right here in this bed. Also, if weather's permitting, I will be getting my tomatoes and peppers out. So come back. I post weekly. And thank you so much for joining me in the garden. Have an amazing day.